welcome back to Dreamcatchers. Our guest today is Ganondolgo Hemlock, and he's here to talk to us about his involvement with our culture and our youth. So one of the things that you're involved with is a culture camp, which is sponsored by the Cultural Center, I believe.
Yep.
How does that operate? And well, let's first start with when was it created and why?
I think we're on about 5 years now, where it was both myself and Howie Macumber. There had always been a Cultural Center summer camp that they had, and the way it had run before was they would take kids out to Joe Odo for 1 week, and it would be totally immersion. And but myself and Howie, we sat down and we had planned it out. We said, well, let's try something a little bit different. Let's mix it up a little bit here. And we sat down with the coordinator over at the Culture Center and we laid out the plan, and she said, let's give it a shot. And the way it works is it's a 2-week program now, and the first week is here within the community. Sorry, it's 2.5 weeks. The first 2 weeks are here, and when we're here, we bring them all throughout the community, and we bring them to learn from different people. And like, for instance, we bring them out to go medicine picking. We'll bring them with, say, Eric Macumber. He brings them out on his boat, and he shows them how to catch and clean sturgeon, and they'll spend the day at the beach as he's fixing everything up for them. And the kids just love it, And it's also showing the kids in our community that there's more than just, say, Xbox or staying at home, that there are all these things that they can be learning about.
So the actual program, it's for 2 weeks in the community?
Yep.
And then
for about 3 or 4 days, we'll bring them out. We had brought them to Joe Odo, but last year we tried something different and we brought them to Thompson Island, which is out near Akwesasne. And we had been given the offer, so we said, well, let's try it out, and it worked really, really well. So we'll probably be doing that again this coming summer.
Okay, and when does it run again?
Right before the powwow, so that would be...
Like July?
Yeah, first week of July.
Okay, the first week of July. And when do they start advertising it, like for children to sign up, and how much room is there?
It starts advertising around... beginning of the summer, around June, that we'll start putting it out there. And we have the spots open for, I think it's 20 kids, 10 girls, 10 boys.
And do you often get all of the 10 boys and 10 girls?
Yeah, it fills right up right away.
Is there ever a waiting list?
There is always a waiting list every year. I mean, we want to take them, but sometimes the waiting list gets so big that we're like, oh, we can't take all the kids. And, we feel bad, but it's 20. And depending on how many are on the waiting list, we'll take them.
Okay.
But
so let's. Can you give me a bit of a rundown of what happens during those 2 weeks again? You touched on it a bit before with Eric Macumber and taking them out on the boat. But what other activities?
Well, we teach them the singing, because we always have them participate in the social that takes place before the powwow. So, we'll teach them a few songs that they'll sing at the social on the Friday night. Also what happens is we'll bring in people like Elaine Delarone. She'll have a whole morning with them, preparing food, showing them, cooking, healthy recipes, things like that. We get people like Duje Macumber, who will show them medicines, Sagohayosta Macumber, who shows them survival skills. So we give them a whole wide array of different things to learn about, but we like to bring in different people too, so that they know that there's all of these people out there doing these things.
And what happens when they go away for those 3 days to, what was it, Sturgeon Island?
Thompson Island.
Thompson Island.
When we had went out there last year, we went out for a week, and while we were out there, his name was Bob Stevenson, and he kind of runs the whole camp that they have out there. And he showed them a whole bunch of stuff too, and they brought people in from Akwesasne to teach the kids different things. So they had an elder teaching them about medicines, and she told them different stories. They had a woman come in to teach them how to identify, the bird life and things like that. So just a lot of things, but it was also, camping, and they had time to go swimming and
Is there any hunting involved?
No, well, he taught them how to, he called it rabbit stick throwing. So they all got to make a stick, and they had to, learn how to throw that stick. And it's, if you can look it up on YouTube, people can actually catch deer and rabbit and things with this stick if you get good at it. And we had one kid where he caught an animal. He wasn't supposed to, but he did. But yeah, so they do all kinds of stuff.
And the whole camp is in Mohawk?
We incorporate as much as we can. And because what happens is we have a lot of kids who come in, some are from the immersion program and kids who aren't. So we'll incorporate as much Ganyageha as we can to the program, but we're also teaching them in English too.
Okay. And how exactly did you get involved with this amazing project?
Well, we've been working with the youth, both myself and Yuri Howie, and it was just something we looked at and said, well, there's the summer camp there, but let's try something because.
Oh, so there was the summer camp in place, and then you had an idea with your friend, and that's when you approached the cultural center.
Yep. Okay. And so because what was happening was she was working at Cattery, and there was a lot of students going up to grade 7, and we wanted to have something like a transitional phase for them, going from elementary to the high school level.
Oh, so it's between 12 and 13 or 11 and 12?
10 to 12.
10 to 12, okay.
A lot of the kids were going over to survival school too, so it was that transitional phase for them too,
Okay, and why is it so important for youth to participate in this cultural camp?
It's fun. No, I mean, it's there's a lot of things that we're forgetting, a lot of basic things that we're letting go. I remember hearing some elders sitting around, and one of them had said, do you guys remember how we used to store our food a long time ago without electricity? And they all kind of looked up, and they said, yeah, this is how we used to do it. They said, do you guys remember how to do it? And the elders just sat there, and they kind of looked and said, I'm starting to forget, because electricity is so easy. You got the freezer and everything else. And they said, no, we're starting to forget. So there's these little things that people are forgetting because we're just not doing it anymore. It's kind of like we're waiting for somebody else to do it for us, Like I was saying with the gardening. How many people have a garden in the community anymore? Before there used to be gardens all over the community, but now it seems smaller and smaller, and it's just that basic, are we able to feed ourselves?
Yeah. Do you teach the children how to garden? Is that part of the...
It would be nice, but because it's only a 2-week period, gardening by that time is kind of done.
Right.
Save for, maintaining the garden.
But in general, you feel that through this cultural program that you're able to remind the children that they still have this connection to their unique culture and to the earth, and you also give them the opportunity to reach out to elders or people who know medicine or know specific cultural techniques or values. So I think that's a really great project overall. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, we'll have more with our guest today, Gunnar Hemlock.